During the Women's March, there was a statue put up in Wall Street that showed the so-called fearless girl, right? Little girl who's kind of standing up to the Wall Street bull. Now, there was an update to this story fairly recently. The sculptor behind the Wall Street bull was very sensitive and was very hurt by the fearless girl because he felt like it kind of demonized the Wall Street bull, and it was unfair to him. As an artist, it was extremely unfair. Now, another incident happened recently that was crazy. Another artist, not the sculptor of the bull, gets involved and decides to erect a pug that's peeing on the fearless girl. So do we have a photo of that? Okay, there it is. You see the pug, it's lifting its leg and peeing on the girl, okay. All right, so the guy behind that is Alex Gardega, and he says it has nothing to do with feminism, speaking about the fearless girl statue. And it's a disrespect to the artist that made the bull. That bull had integrity.
Yeah, it has to do with feminism.
Nothing feels better than a rando guy talking about how a statue has nothing to do with feminism. Really? Why are you the authority on whether or not that statue has anything to do with feminism? And why are you getting involved in this situation, right? It could be because he wants attention. If that's the case, mission accomplished. He says, I decided to build this dog and make it crappy to downgrade the statue, exactly how the girl is a downgrade on the bull.
Yeah, no, but he has no hard feelings about the girl.
No hard feelings, no.
No, this is not a political statement at all. He's just trying to protect the artist, because that's who he is. Okay, yeah, it's super obvious where you're coming at it from politically. Okay, so I will adjudicate all of this. Number one, the bull is badass, and I've always loved that bull. I think it looks really cool. So much respect to the original artist who sculpted the bull. Now, in the meanwhile, though, what has happened is it has become a symbol of Wall Street. And Wall Street, not much loved, and by me or by the country. And so then the bull started taking on a different connotation. So whether you like it or not, it did. And actually that makes your art more interesting. It became iconic. And then when people were upset at Wall Street, then they became upset at that symbol. That's powerful. So you should be proud of that no matter what. So then, because of that, somebody else did the sculpture of the fearless girl standing up to the symbol of Wall Street and unfortunately greed. So that's a really interesting form of art. If I was the artist who made the bull, I wouldn't take offense at that. If I loved it and people started taking it as a symbol of greed, I might feel not great about that, but I get that, hey, that's what happens with art, right? The fact that your art took on a life of its own is amazing. You should be super proud of that.
Unfortunately, he adorned this bull with his balls, right? Because seriously, be a little more, I don't know how to say it, I guess confident in yourself, confident in your work. That bull, you're right, is one of the most iconic sculptures in the United States, right? Everyone knows that bull, and you should be proud of yourself. You shouldn't feel this sensitive and this hurt over another statue and how that statue makes your bull look. It's just crazy. It just makes me feel like he's weak in a lot of ways, and I almost hesitate to say that, but it's true. I can't believe that this has become a big controversy.
So, continuing my adjudication of this matter.
Okay, please continue.
But overall, great job on the first bull, great job on the fearless girl. Now the pug, we finally get to the pug, guilty. Okay, you're being childish. I didn't like that girl standing up to greed. Why'd she have to do that? Oh yeah, I'm gonna urinate on her. Okay, I'm gonna have this little dog urinate on her, and but no, it has nothing to do with feminism, right? Okay, then this is gonna get out of control because there's gonna be another artist, and they're gonna build something on top of the bull, on top of the dog, right? And then you're gonna have maybe a larger thing taking a dump on it, right? You were urinating, now I'm doing this, right? Or maybe for the fetish community out there, they'll have a woman stepping on the dog. Okay, and then that gets into a whole other thing.
Well, just to give you guys all the deets on this story, the dog was only there for a couple hours. The artist then removed the dog, so it wasn't a permanent fixture there.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's much better. Okay, but bring it down, dude. That girl was not an attack on you. if you perceived it as an attack on you, then maybe that says a lot more about you than it does about the statue. I know what you're thinking. Cenk, what do I get if I'm a Young Turks member? Well, I'm glad you asked. Not only do you get the whole 2-hour show on demand anytime you want, ad-free, but you get 6 podcasts on top. What are they? Join up, find out, they're amazing. You're gonna love these shows. TYTnetwork.com/join.